时尚欧洲精彩呈现，观众朋友大家好，欢迎收看本期的欧洲大观，我是黄杰。今天的节目都有哪些精彩看点呢？难民制作家具，用双手创造未来。野性爱尔兰西海岸。波兰的蘑菇大餐。库库拉是柏林新兴的一家家具制作公司，它生产的桌子和椅子独一无二，每一件家具背后都有一个特别的故事。这家公司雇佣了西非来的难民，对他们来说，制作家具就是创造未来。制作家具也让他们有机会可以面对自己的过去，比如这些特别版的椅子融入了沉在地中海里的难民船的残骸。
Each piece of furniture produced by Kukula has a story to tell. The Berlin startup employs 5 people who fled here from West Africa. For them, creating furniture is a way of shaping their own future.
This one's good, this one needs to be a bit lower.
The refugees don't have work permits for Germany, but thanks to an educational grant, they're still able to earn a living.
Mi vida ha sido muy mal.
I've had a really tough life. Working here has changed so much for me. I've learned to make chairs for the first time. And I've also learned how to build a table. I like to work, and I like learning things.
The
idea was born during a social project 2 years ago. Product designer Sebastian Deschler was working with refugees to build furniture for a shelter.
The idea was to build something together and to get to know each other. And after 3 weeks, we'd become like family. They couldn't take the furniture with them because as a refugee, you don't know where you're going next. We had lots of great pieces and nowhere to bring them. And it was just before Christmas, so we thought we'd sell a few.
Furniture from the refugee workshop generated a buzz straight away. On the Start Next crowdfunding portal, Kukula raised more than 120,000 euros. That made it one of the most successful startups of its kind this year. The Kukula products have been shown at international furniture exhibitions in Cologne and Milan and sold in pop-up stores such as this one in Munich. The unique handmade pieces cost between 120 and 500 euros.
Son cosas buenas, pienso yo.
They're beautiful items,
Son
in my
cosas
opinion.
que
They're special and interesting. So
Especial
I'm not
casi.
surprised that
Yo
so many
pienso que
people
no
buy them.
tanto sorpresa para que la gente compra.
Kukula's designs are the brainchild of Italian designer Enzo Mari. During the 70s, he designed DIY furniture which people could recreate affordably at home. The Kukula team visited the designer in Milan, and he offered them the production rights.
He wanted to create a model for a new society. He wanted to take a stand against formalism in design and against capitalism. He wanted to make the customer self-sufficient, so customers could build their own furniture without anyone knowing whether they're rich or poor. He wanted to help create a relationship and learn something from the product. And we are rediscovering these ideas on a new level.
Building furniture also gives refugees a chance to come to terms with their own past. These special edition chairs incorporate wreckage from refugee boats that sank in the Mediterranean.
I left Libya on a boat like this. This is my story.
Wir waren erst ziemlich schockiert von der Idee.
At first we were quite shocked by the
Diskussion haben wir
idea.
irgendwann für uns
But at some point during the discussion,
dass
we
es auch
realized
okay
it's
ist, daraus
okay.
ein Produkt zu machen und eigentlich dem
We let the
Kunden zu
customer
überlassen,
decide
zu
for
entscheiden,
themselves if they
ob
want the
das bei
products,
sich
if they
haben
want
will,
something like
so nah
that
an
near
sich dran
them.
haben will oder nicht.
And if they don't, why
Und
not?
wenn das zum Beispiel nicht haben will, auch
What we're
warum
hoping to
nicht.
create is a discussion.
Was wir uns eigentlich wünschen, ist die Diskussion darüber. Das ist schwierig. Das braucht man wirklich Zeit. Ich muss nicht so arg drücken. Ganz leicht.
Okay.
When their one-year educational grant at Kukula comes to an end, the participants hope to gain an official work permit in Germany. The success of their products could help the process. And if all goes to plan, they'll soon go on sale online and in a showroom in Berlin.
有一家酒吧是所有概念酒吧的祖先，它藏身于哥本哈根的室内庭院中。精美的内部设计来自设计师约翰索普，他让这个空间变成了一种体验，符合斯坦利·库布里克的电影《2001太空漫游》。这种设计概念已经影响了太多的设计师。下面我们就带您去酒吧体验一下。
Hidden in a rear courtyard in Copenhagen, there's NASA Lounge. Its striking interior was the brainchild of Danish designer Johannes Torp. It quickly achieved international fame.
Well, I mean, doing a place 100% white. I mean, when we did this 13 or 14 years ago, it must be now, the idea to do a place 100% white was the surprise. And in the progress of doing the place, we had all, everything was sealed. No, people knew we would do a place, with a membership card and blah, 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 these kind of things. But they would never, ever, ever imagine it to be white.
NASA Lounge is the mother of all concept bars. The designers wanted to create a space that is one thing in particular, not accessible to everyone. They looked for a design that could make this space into an experience and hit upon Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. The surfaces seem as though they're lacquered. Everything reflects the constantly changing light. Tables, benches and the bar itself are a monochrome white.
First of all, we had an opening of 2 nights. One night for the people who got the membership card, which was actually attached to a small torch with an invitation inside. I can show it to you later. Which was very cool at that time. I mean, it was not a typical paper invitation, number one. And the people who were really important, who we considered to be like friends of the family, they got the membership card already at that time. We had like a digital camera taking pictures like half a year in advance. So the cool people got the card. The non-cool people just got the invitation with the other people who were non-cool for the other day. Used a lot of inspiration from Stanley Kubrick. I mean, if you look at Space Odyssey, you have many of the same kind of elements. And I think all designers, all interior designers, architects, have been looking at this film and just been dreaming away of what you can do if you work in like in filmic universe instead of reality. Because making this in reality and making it last is very, very difficult.
Johannes Torp, who started his career as a lighting designer, has revised the lighting concept of NASA Lounge since its opening. The space has remained the same, and when you imagine this narrow cube, shiny and white with lacquered furniture, people dressed in black or white, then you can understand why Johannes Torp's concept has influenced so many designers.
And using the graphic elements, to do a branded space, you repeat the elements of your graphic designs. And already at this point, what we really wanted to create, my brother and I, was to do branded interior design. Simply do a branded space.
The NASA Lounge has become one of Scandinavia's most photographed bars. That's one good reason why the designer of the original product, Johannes Torp, is now realizing international projects as an interior designer.
爱尔兰西海岸有着独特的自然景观， 长达2500公里的野性大西洋之路是世界上最长的沿海线路，将爱尔兰海岸的美景尽收眼底。一路上美不胜收的海滩一个接着一个，而且因为地处偏僻，这里并没有其他景点人山人海的游客。让我们一起去感受爱尔兰西海岸的野性魅力，见证陆地和海洋的碰撞吧。
Rugged landscapes, wild waters, and cheerful people. Ireland's west coast is one of the country's most picturesque regions, and it's not overrun with tourists. The Wild Atlantic Way aims to draw more vacationers here.
You have loads of offers for tourists, for walkers, for cyclists, for drivers. You have everything you could possibly wish for. But unlike other places in the world and in Ireland, you have it remotely. Everything here is hidden. You have so many hidden gems in Donegal that you will not find anywhere else.
The beauties of the Irish coast can be discovered on the new coastal road. And there's one fabulous beach after another along the way. The beach at Bundoran is especially attractive for surfers. Meter-high waves offer surfing fun like the breakers in Hawaii. And it's the perfect backdrop for filmmakers. German cameraman Andi Janssen is here shooting scenes for a surfing documentary. For him, Ireland is the surfing paradise.
Irland, also nicht auf Hawaii. Hawaii war ich in den letzten Jahren auch. Aber ich finde ehrlich gesagt, Irland ist einfach schöner. Zeigt Struktur, Energie, Dynamik, Rau und super, super Leute, die mit Herzen hier leben und auch gerne was teilen.
The town of Donegal was founded by the Vikings on the shores of the Esk River. Today it's full of small shops, bars and restaurants. In the center of town is Donegal Castle, a monument of Irish and English history built in the 15th century. Gaelic rulers lived here till they went into exile after losing the 9 Years' War against the English.
This castle was built by the O'Donnell clan, and they ruled over Donegal from the early 13th century until the English colonisation in the early 1600s. Now, they were a very wealthy family, giving Donegal great trade links with Britain and the Mediterranean, and they would have exchanged fish and animal skins.
The next stop to the north on the Wild Atlantic Way is Killybegs. It's been one of Ireland's biggest fishing harbours for centuries. Boats large and small set off from here.
Welcome to Donegal.
In Ireland, the weather can change from one moment to the next, but the view of the sea and the coast from a boat is always worth the trip.
The Donegal Bay has got many fish species. The general angling, we go out and we catch mackerel for bait fish, and after that then we go and fish for pollock. There's some very fine pollock, also cod.
A 30-minute drive west from Killybegs brings us to the cliffs of Slieve League. They tower some 600 meters over the Atlantic and are among Europe's highest cliffs. The view from the top is breathtaking.
This is a wonderful place. It's so beautiful. The sky, the day that we're having today is just gorgeous. The water, the cliffs, pretty impressive.
Magica, wonderful.
I like the air, the light, especially because it's so soft.
Visitors get a crash course in the relaxed Irish art of living at Leo's Tavern in Crowley. Live music is played here all year round. Leo's Tavern hosted the first performances by the now world-famous pop singer Enya and her family band Clanad.
The Irish people, I would say, are very relaxed and welcoming, and talk with people and learn where they're from and have, you know, and hear their stories, and they'll tell them stories, have a drink or two, and play some music.
Visitors would do well to relax and open themselves up to that lust for life while exploring the Irish countryside.
秋天呢，很适合采集蘑菇。在波兰，这是一种很受欢迎的消遣手段。蘑菇有一种强烈的香味儿，出现于很多波兰传统菜肴中。在上西西里亚的卡托维茨，大厨马辛丘巴克正在为欧洲大观的观众准备美味的蘑菇大餐，配有野猪肉和珍珠麦意大利调味饭。下面我们就一起去品尝一下。
Mushrooms are abundant in Polish forests. Chef Marcin Czubak goes foraging for them several times a week. He sets off early in the morning to get ahead of other mushroom pickers. When he cuts them, he leaves enough of the mushroom bases in the ground so they can grow back.
You have to use a sharp knife and make as few cuts as possible so the mushrooms don't fall apart. This knife has a brush on the end, so I can clean them straight away. Mushrooms are very delicate, so they have to be handled with care.
Mushroom hunting is a popular pastime in Poland. In the autumn, market stalls are full of mushrooms. The most common kinds in Katowice are king bolets, also known as porcini, bay bolets and butter bolets. Porcini mushrooms are Czubak's favorite because they make a delicious sauce.
Poles love mushrooms because they are very aromatic. They have an intense flavor. Mushrooms are part of many traditional Polish dishes. In old cookbooks, they are listed as a major ingredient. We often dry or marinate them.
Armed with a fine haul, Czubak heads back to the Staromieska 13 restaurant in Katowice. Czubak opened his trendy restaurant a few months ago. There's a different dish on the menu every day. Today's mushrooms are for a pearl barley risotto with wild boar. First, they're thoroughly cleaned.
Many people clean mushrooms using water. That's wrong. Mushrooms have a sponge structure and absorb water. Water makes them lose flavor and fall apart in the pan.
Slice the mushrooms. The aim is to get everything to fry evenly in the pan. Then add the pearl barley. The grains have been cooked in salted water for 10 minutes.
Pearl barley is a classic side dish in Poland. For a while, people forgot about it, but now it's back in fashion.
Mushroom dishes in Poland can be vegetarian, but more often than not, they're served with meat. Czubak has decided to use wild boar. The meat is pan-fried with juniper berries and rosemary. The chef prefers wild boar medium rare. He also adds plenty of butter.
Wild boar goes brilliantly with mushrooms because both come from the forest. There's a symbiosis between the mushrooms, the wild boar and the forest. It adds a special intense note. I call it the forest flavor. Together they produce a wonderful balance.
Wild boar with mushroom and pearl barley risotto also looks great on the plate. And slices of raw mushroom are not just for decoration, they add a special flavor to the dish. Czubak recommends a red wine to go with the meal. It too is locally sourced. It comes from the neighboring town of Mysłowice.
马德里的阿罗拉酒吧以完全原创的家具和格局而闻名。它开在一家非常有名的博物馆里。装修之初，形状奇怪的红色天花板给设计师带来了不少难题。但经过他的巧妙设计之后，这些奇怪之处反而成了酒吧最大的特色。下面就让我们一起去欣赏一下设计师的杰作吧。
A courtyard famous in Madrid. Jouvel's new building for the Reina Sofia Museum, completed in 2005, extends the space of the original 18th century building, a former hospital. The Nouvelle Annexe is a tall, multi-storey glass building dominated by a large red spatial body. An architectural sculpture that at no point touches the ground. It floats above it like a cloud. Everything between this body and the grey floor must, of necessity, appear displaced and artificial. The two horizontals are too dominant. Architect Luis Vidal was engaged to design a 600-seat restaurant inside this shell. The challenge? To overcome the dominance of the red cloud.
The competition was for a restaurant, a cafe and a bar. But they wanted separate areas. And we thought that was impossible. The space that Jean Nouvel had created was very powerful. It consisted of the granite floor of the Sabatini building and this great valley containing the floating auditoria. We thought there was no way that space could be dissected. But the assignment was to divide the space into different zones, to permit separate restaurant, bar and cafe operations. We thought it was a ridiculous idea. In the end, we took the two ribs that were already there, extended them, and built these two counters here. And then we structured the space with this main table. It takes different forms, creates different spaces, and colonizes space in different ways. That was the idea of having furniture here, which then had little offshoots here. These are the ones over here. Then we put a DJ table here because there was also music. And we arranged tables here.
The design of the Arola bar, restaurant and cafe accepts the dominance of the red cloud and spreads over the 1,000 square metre floor area like a geometrical mesh of garlands and ivy. The white furniture meanders through the room, constantly changing height and thus function. That enables it to hold its own against the overpowering cloud. So the design challenge was to create something like a guidance system for a space in which people would otherwise circulate like travellers in an airport concourse. Luis Vidal found a space that offered little scope for development. He accepted that and created an original room and furnishing system that made the Arola bar famous.
奶酪火锅是瑞士的传统饮食之一，尤其是到了冬天，家家都在食用这种美味。面包、水果、蔬菜，蘸上诱人的白色奶酪，一口咬下去，满满的都是幸福。瑞士的奶酪火锅历史悠久，最古老的配方甚至可以追溯到17世纪。奶酪的种类也多种多样。接下来，我们就带您去当地一饱口福吧。
Dipping chunks of white bread in melted cheese is the traditional way to consume Swiss fondue, accompanied by white wine or black tea. This is Au Croix de Foin in the western Swiss canton of Fribourg. The restaurant, whose name means by the hearth, is only open in the winter, peak season for cheese fondue.
En hiver, pendant la saison d'hiver, on
In the winter,
mange
we generally eat fondue once a week or twice a month.
Une fois par semaine ou 2 fois par mois la fondue.
It's a tradition with us, and when you're in a group like this, it's great. It's fun to eat, quick to make, and it's really sociable.
It tastes wonderful. I like it. It's really good.
Il me plaît. Très bon.
To make the fondue, Chef Isabelle Joumi-Brodard heats up dry white wine and pressed garlic in a fondue pot. After a few minutes, she adds the cheese and stirs the mixture until it's creamy. In Switzerland, there are countless regional variations of fondue. In the canton of Fribourg, they eat what's called half and half, a mixture of Gruyere and Vacherin, both local cheeses.
Du fait que c'est aussi un mets qui est très simple.
It's quite a simple dish.
C'est le goût du fromage.
It's the unique taste of the cheese that people like, that mixture of bread and cheese.
Que les gens ils aiment ce mélange de pain et fromage ensemble.
They can discover an entire region through these cheeses and moitié-moitié fondue.
Et cette fondue, moitié-moitié.
The canton of Fribourg is world famous for its cheeses and fondues. They've been making Gruyere for centuries in the town and district of the same name. At the La Maison du Gruyere dairy, which is also open to visitors, master cheesemakers produce up to 48 wheels of Gruyere a day. Copper vats like this hold almost 5,000 litres of milk. After the curdling process and the separation of the liquid whey, the curd mass is cut into granules by large knives called cheese harps. Jacques decides when the cheese has the right consistency, something that requires knowledge and experience.
Ce que j'aime beaucoup dans mon travail, c'est surtout le moment du décaillage, au moment où ce lait durcit et puis on le coupe. Quelque part, il y a une réaction, c'est une réaction physique et chimique qui se passe, c'est électrochimique, mais il y a un petit côté un peu magique comme ça. Ce que j'aime bien sûr par-dessus tout, c'est de déguster le fromage que j'ai fabriqué.
At an air temperature of 15 degrees Celsius and in humid conditions, the Gruyere ripens for up to 18 months. The longer it ages, the sharper the flavour. To make fondue, it's best to use medium-aged Gruyere. Master cheesemaker Thierry Bies tests a wheel that's been ripening for months.
Le goût, il est
fruité. The taste is fruity, very floral, with just a dash of the acidity that's typical for Gruyere. It's magnificent.
Qui est typique du Gruyère. C'est magnifique.
The oldest known fondue recipe was found in a cookbook from Zurich dating back to 1699. So, in spite of all the legends, fondue's origins are likely in the city, not in the mountains. In the 19th century, fondue was a staple dish in every middle-class home and was even considered elitist. The Gruyere Regional History Museum in the city of Boom has devoted an exhibition to the success story of its famous cheese, which forms the basis for fondue.
In den 20er Jahren hat man angefangen, sehr stark Werbung in der Schweiz zu machen, mit dem Motto Fondue sei schön, Fondue gibt gute Laune, Fondue gehört in jeder Familie. Und nach dem Zweiten Weltkrieg wurde Fondue als Gericht für die Soldaten im Militärdienst gebracht. Und so haben alle junge Männer in der Schweiz gelernt, wie man Fondue isst. Und so kam Fondue in jeder Familie natürlich zurück.
Fondue is as much part of Switzerland as the Alps. The Swiss eat this national dish anywhere and everywhere. And fondue's popularity has of course spread far and wide, eaten around the globe. But there's still no better place to enjoy the classic original than in Switzerland.
时尚欧洲精彩呈现，感谢您收看本期的欧洲大观，我是黄杰，下期同一时间我们再见。